Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sim's YouTube channel and welcome back to episode number 2 of our Let's Play for this wonderful Fenton Forest Farm map. Thank you all for coming back for another episode. I do appreciate it. If you're just a bit confused, if maybe you're new to my channel and you wondered what the difference between Fenton Forest Farm Sandbox, where I put about 8 episodes into the can, and this, well, the sandbox was more or less just playing on the map while we just sort of explored the map and did some testing for Stevie and had some fun kind of getting back into Farm Sim 19, trying to rekindle our love for this genre of a game. And I've got to say, I commented over on PCSG this afternoon. There was a post which I had missed actually, but it's resurfaced because some folks had posted or commented on it recently regarding what our thoughts were regarding Farm Sim 19 and such. And so a lot of folks were, just expressing their I suppose their dissatisfaction with the game. That's the word that I'm kind of looking for. And and it is true. I mean, it is. It's certainly not. It's certainly not everything that we had hoped that it would be. And I'm just realized that maybe I should have grabbed the John Deere tractor so we would have some GPS here. But that's okay. Anyway, but a map like this, and that's exactly what the sandbox mode kind of did for me. And the reason why I wanted to put those episodes out there was because I wanted to put something out on the channel. I really enjoy playing Farm Sim. I enjoy bringing Farm Sim videos to all of you that enjoy watching them and enjoy watching the channel. And, I was a little bit, I've got to say, I was a little bit disappointed in the early release of Farm Sim 19 in the first couple of months, actually. I mean, and I took another long hiatus primarily because, well, I just didn't enjoy playing it, and I wasn't impressed with the Ravenport map, and just trying to play this game without mods, especially when you've had the experience of both Farm Sim 15 and 17, which is under my belt, and try to come along, and we certainly understand that in the opening weeks and maybe month or two there's going to be some issues. There's going to be there's not going to be mods available for it, or if there are mods, they may not be that great of mods. They may have some issues and stuff like that, and we just know that is the possibility and all. But at the same time, if we really enjoy this style of game, as I said, and I do, and I know many of you do as well, you kind of have to just pick a point and say, all right, I'm jumping back in. And that's kind of what, that's the reason why I put those episodes out, knowing that, at least the initial 2 versions of Fenton Forest Farm were the testing versions, and that there would be changes and there could be bugs and there could be issues and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, here we are, and this is the first release, as I explained in the first episode, which I released on Monday. So if you're playing Fenton Forest Farm, hopefully you have downloaded the public release version, the version 1 of this map, and you're enjoying it, and I certainly hope that you are. Just as a reminder to everyone, because I have had a little bit of growth in the channel, so I'm very, very appreciative for all of those that help push me over the 1,500 subscriber mark. I do really appreciate that. I think because of the hiatuses and everything that I took in the fall of last year and around the holidays and everything, I think I was stalling out around 1490, but I think today, as of Monday, the 25th of February, I think that's what today is, or maybe it's the 25th. I think we're sitting at about 1,510 subscribers, so I'm very appreciative to each and every one of those. Many of you are original subscribers that go all the way back in my Farm Sim 15 days, and I'm very appreciative to have all of you along for the ride. It is incredible, and I've made so many dear, dear friends that I wouldn't have if it weren't for this. But just as a reminder, I do run a rated G channel always. That is my guarantee to you that you'll never hear me say anything that is questionable language, or any sort of innuendo or things like that. I may fuss and complain a little bit about giants and some of the stuff like that, but always do it in as positive fashion as possible. Just because we do have young people that watch, and I've had so many good comments over the years from folks that have said that they can basically trust, and they can set their children or their grandchildren down in front of a computer or a smart TV and pull up YouTube and pull up one of my videos and let folks watch, and never have to worry about anything questionable or anything like that. So that is just my commitment to each and every one of you, that will always be the case. Also, just a little bit of housekeeping, I suppose. I will just go ahead and throw out there that if you see a mod that I am using in my Let's Plays, I keep an extensive mod spreadsheet. It is sort of a labor of love for me, because I can remember when I was young to this genre of simulation-based game, back in my Farm Sim 15 days. I would watch videos from, quite honestly, from YouTube content creators that I still watch today, a few of them anyways, and I would often struggle because I would see them using a piece of equipment or something that, well, I didn't have that in my game. And of course, I will also admit that, well, I was kind of new. We're gonna stop the tractor here just a moment, and I'm gonna jump over, and we're gonna move the Corona Big M out of the way, and then we're gonna get our other rig running, and getting that guy raking. So let's just do, actually we need to stop the driver, don't we, Jerry? Okay, and let's just go ahead and do that as well, and then we'll fold him up and just move him over here out of the way. And I'm going to ask him to run the rake, and then that way he can rake this up into windrow, and then hopefully by the time that we get done tethering, maybe this other guy over here will be done picking up the straw from that field. Now, I did go ahead and harvest that field off camera yesterday. Not going to necessarily always show every bit of action that's going to take place within this map, just because, well, gets a little bit monotonous for you guys. I don't know. Hopefully he'll get started there, and off he goes. Maybe not the most ideal tractor for this job, but it is what we have, and try not to get our legs chopped off there by the tines on that rake. But anyway, yeah, so if you see a mod in my gameplay, definitely know that I've got the mod spreadsheet, and you can find that mod spreadsheet by going to grizzlybearsims.com. Again, that's grizzlybearsims.com, and on the upper portion of the web page, it's basically a WordPress website. On the upper portion of that, you'll see a menu bar, and you'll see information. If you click on that or hover over that, that'll open up a sub-menu, and from there just click on the add-on mods and add-on spreadsheet, and that'll take you to a Google document that's online. And look at the bottom of that spreadsheet, and you'll see some tabs across the bottom. Pick Farm Sim 19 or 17 as far as that goes, if you're playing that version, and you'll find the links to the mods. But yeah, it is a labor of love for me. It is something that, again, as I said, being sort of young to this game, and back in the Farm Sim 15 days, I would watch guys play with mods, and I would wonder where in the world they got them, because they were so cool and everything, and trying to, especially a YouTuber that has many thousand subscribers, I know that it's time consuming for them to reply to every question in the chat and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's just been something that I said that I would do as I play this game, and I very much try never to play with mods which are not readily available. And again, I post those on the spreadsheet, and I'm also more or less never going to show a mod or use a mod that is questionable as far as the authenticity of that mod. I have very much high respect for our modding community, because let's face it, what they do to enhance our gameplay, because if it weren't for the mods, as I've said many times, we probably would not be investing hundreds and maybe thousands of hours in the gameplay for this. It's the selection of maps, it's the selection of equipment, it's things like seasons and the GPS mod, and hopefully Follow Me will be coming along very soon. It's those kind of things that really enhance the game, because let's face it, we don't know when Giants is going to decide, if they'll ever decide to bake some of this functionality into the game. We hope that they will, but you just never know. So anyway, those are some things out of the way for everyone that is kind of new. And I do like to kind of mention that from time to time, not every video, but I do just sort of talk about that a little bit, just to remind folks that, yeah, if you do see something here on the gameplay, within the gameplay, and you're wondering, well, where the heck is that? You can find it on my spreadsheet. So again, hope everyone is having a wonderful time with your virtual farming. If you're playing this map, or maybe you're playing Marwell Manor, or you're playing one of the other modded maps that have come out in the last few weeks or month or so, hoping that you're having fun. And just remember to occasionally give yourself a break, switch up things. I kind of bounce between, well, let's face it, my favorite style of game is a simulation based game. I'm not really into first person shooters, or I suppose GTA 5 is similar to that. And if I'm having a little bit of a bad day at work or whatever, and if I want to maybe simulate knocking off a liquor store or something like that, I will play GTA 5 for a bit. But the simulation-based games, typically involving driving or flying, is kind of my cup of tea. Let me do this and get rid of. Is it that, or is it that? Well, that. Well, I was wanting to get rid of the HUDs. It was working yesterday, but I wonder if I maybe did not activate it for this map. I was messing about with another map, and I activated the HUD hider. That's a mod that's out now. It's on the mod spreadsheet if you're interested in it. I was going to basically do that and get rid of the HUDs and everything on the screen and get a screenshot, but that's okay. We'll come back and we'll recreate that later. At some point, or come up with a different type of screenshot, or maybe I'll just do this and get that out of the way, and then if I back up a little bit, that'll give me a little bit of real estate, and I can do some cropping and make all that work. But anyway, sorry about that. I kind of got a little bit sidetracked, but where was I? I think it's time for a drink of iced tea. All right, so without the seasons mod, we are just kind of in a perpetual kind of spring, summer, fall, rinse and repeat kind of thing within Farm Sim. We don't have anything that really dictates and says to us that it is spring, it's time to plant, or it is summer, it's time to do other things, still maintaining the fields and everything, but it's time to do other things. And then obviously the fall is all about the harvest, and the winter months are when we can kind of do other things around the farm, maybe knock a few trees down, maybe plan on the field expansions and stuff like that. I have been thinking about whether just how long will I play this map. I think it really depends on a couple of different things. I think that it kind of depends on what other maps come along that I might be interested in playing. Will always be, just like there was with 15, just like there was with 17, and surely 19 is going to follow suit. There will be dozens, hundreds of maps that will come out, and of those, there will probably be a good dozen or so that I will genuinely want to play with Farm Sim 19. Now, some of these maps might be maps that came out for 17 that I did not get a chance to play. One map that I'm hoping, maybe, just maybe, and it's going to be all up to Bullet Bill, I think. I would love to play Lone Oak Farm in Farm Sim 19. That's really probably the one that I am most anxious to play in Farm Sim 19. There is Emerald Coast by CCS 101. I did not get a chance to play this in 17, and also I did not, but I know that he is actively working on that for 19, so that definitely will happen. But don't know about Lone Oak Farm. We'll just have to kind of see. Of course, we've all heard that Bullet Bill is kind of taking a bit of a hiatus right now. I don't necessarily think it's permanent. I could be wrong about that. I've read, he still hangs out in the communities. He's still active on the Simulation Gaming Society Discord server, and I think that's a good segue for me to plug that. Simulation Gaming Society was founded by myself, Duckzorly Gaming, and Eustace Pharmer several months ago, and we would love to have you come over and become a member with us. Obviously, absolutely free, and we do enjoy talking about the various simulation-based games that we all enjoy playing. But I think Farm Sim is probably the one thread that we all have in common, and it's kind of what at least myself and Eustace Pharmer and Duckzorly Gaming are putting out content for on a fairly regular basis, or we try to anyways. And so yeah, just head over there, and of course, like I said, Bullet Bill is active over on that in that community. And let's just go ahead and jump out. Maybe we'll go do some plowing. Maybe we'll do some plowing and plow this field up here. Now, we harvested this field in the previous video. I came along and put lime down. And so here's an example of two mods that you might enjoy for your map, for your version. I think I have. Do I have GPS on this rig? Was I smart enough to input? Yeah, I was. Cool. Okay. But yeah, it's that terrain angle or terrain snapping or whatever. That it would be nice if that were a global setting, because I will admit I forget to hit that, and when you forget to hit that, it doesn't automatically line up to the edge of the field, and that's obviously a big help for somebody like me that struggles in getting things lined up to begin with, but B, especially when you're driving an articulated tractor like this big John Deere is. So we're about 21 minutes into our video. I just remembered that when I was talking just a few minutes ago, mentioning simulation-based games that I enjoy playing and making a reference to GTA 5 and such, I think I was talking about the fact that sometimes you want to make sure that you give yourself a little bit of variety in your gameplay. If you stick with one thing and only one thing, and you spend hours and hours and hours and days upon days and weeks upon weeks, and you kind of get the idea here, it's very easy to burn yourself out. And I have suffered burnout. I've suffered burnout many times. Burnout from the fact that, I want to try to do my best to create content for everybody, to basically put something out there on a regular basis, but I have to remind myself, and especially for content creators, you got to remind yourself that you're not NBC, you're not CBS, you're not ABC, you're not a well, if you do this full time, that might be a different story. But you're not a big name, big time production facility. So, especially if you're trying to hold down a full time job and everything, you need to make sure that you give yourself a little bit of breather with things, and don't do too much of one thing, because too much of one thing is not always the best thing for us, and it's very easy to get burned out. It's very easy to get frustrated, especially, I think part of me, I was looking so much forward to Farm Sim 19 coming out, and I think I forgot. I think that at least and I'll raise my hand and say that I'm guilty of this. I forgot just how difficult the early weeks and maybe even month or so after a release of a game like this, how sort of boring these things are, because the hype, the anticipation, we started hearing about all of the things, all the goodness that was going to be with Farm Sim 19. We started hearing about this stuff back almost in the summer time frame of 2018, and we were all excited, just all hyped up and everything, and we watched, and I watched frustratingly at the preview stuff, because I quite honestly, I don't think that is necessarily about, and I was actually having a conversation today on Discord, and I don't know if this is something that I've just figured out on my own. I doubt that I'm that smart, but I really don't think that those preview sessions that folks get, that Giants basically hands out copies of the Farm Sim game too, and they stream it on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's about bug testing. That's more about the Benjamins. That's more about the dollars and cents of drumming up the excitement for the game, getting as many people, potentially new folks, into the game. Because let's face it, I think every time that Giants releases a new version of Farm Sim, there's going to be folks like me that have been around for a while, that have come up through the different versions, starting with 15, but many of you go back to 13, 11, 9, Farm Sim 9 even. And so I don't think there was a Farm Sim 7. I think 9 was the first one. But anyway, I think you get what I'm saying. And so, but I think that all that previous stuff, that's more about getting excitement built up. And so we fall prey to that, because I was excited. I was thinking, okay, we're going to have all these features. This is going to be fantastic and everything. And then you sort of get into the game and you start to realize that, it's not really working the way that it's supposed to. And I was surprised, because I was playing around on a map that I'm not doing videos on right now. I am thinking about maybe doing a few episodes on, and I was playing around, and I was kind of coming up with what I thought might be a good storyline and everything, and I was doing some testing to see if, how things would work out. And so I'd cut a grass field, much similar to what we had done over on the other field, and I wanted to bell those grass bells and turn those into silage bells. Well, I first belled them as square bells, and then did the square wrapper, and I was thinking, okay, well, that's cool, and everything, because I'd done that before in Farm Sim 17. And I was thinking, okay, well, let me grab that Kuhn round baler, the one that has the wrapping functionality built into it. Well, guess what? I couldn't get it to work. Couldn't get it to work. Now, I don't know if you've managed to get it to work, but I was speaking again this afternoon with Eustace Pharmer over on Discord, and come to find out, it's a known bug. Now, we're 3 months. I think yesterday was maybe the 3-month anniversary of the release of Farm Sim 19. We're 3 months into this, and that is a Giants model. This is not a mod that I'm talking about. This is a Giants. Actually, it was part of the Kuhn DLC for Farm Sim 17, and obviously they've made it available to 19, so I'm very appreciative of that. But it doesn't seem to work. It doesn't wrap the grass bells. Come to find out, at least from what I heard from from Eustace Pharmer, it appears that what they did was they basically configured it to work with hay and straw, and they didn't bother configuring it, or there's something wrong with the way that it handles grass. Well, to me, it's a useless piece of equipment, because you don't wrap straw bales and you don't wrap hay bales to turn those into silage. You basically wrap grass. It's the same principle of cutting grass and putting grass or putting chaff into the silage bunker, and then compacting it and covering it and letting it ferment, because there's moisture in the grass, and obviously hay is what? Dried grass, and straw is straw. So it's just a head scratcher to me. But hey, I've rambled on enough about some of this stuff. We've done a couple of things in this video. We're going to probably come back with episode number 3. And by then, and I meant to crank my time up. I'm going to try to play it at least 5 speed time. So maybe I'll bump this up to about 15 for a while. I'm going to try to remember to play at 5x time so that we can just kind of speed through the days. But most likely, I'm going to need to do some more harvesting. What I want to do is I want to get all of our fields harvested, and kind of bring about, not necessarily, can't play with seasons right now because seasons is not available, but at least try to bring about some kind of theme as we kind of go through things, so that we're not just rinsing and repeating, and we're not going to seed fields when there are still fields that have yet to be harvested. So we'll try to do that, and then maybe try to break some things up and do some other stuff around the farm as well. I was actually thinking, and I'll just kind of close with these thoughts, I was actually thinking about maybe knocking these trees down and expanding these fields. Now, the only challenge with that is that depending on the type of crop that you plant in these fields, I don't think that the harvester could get all the way down and back. So if you're on the wrong side of the harvester as far as the pipe is concerned, I don't know if it would get all the way back before needing to be emptied. So that's something, I guess, for consideration. Maybe it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, the way that we're playing and what we're doing and everything. Of course, play doesn't really care anyway, because half the time the course play tipper tractor driver will show up when you're on the wrong side of the field as far as the pipe goes anyway. So I don't know, maybe that's something to do. We could rent because obviously I'm not going to do it in a chainsaw, so we would most likely rent the Ponzi Scorpion and bring him in here and cut those trees down, and maybe make at least one of these or 2 of these fields into one field. We could play around with that. We could also expand our operations, grab one of the other odd-shaped fields, maybe something over, let me see, let me bring up the big map here, maybe like field number 7. That might be kind of interesting. I do like, what I like about a Stevie map, obviously I talked about it a little bit in episode number 1. I like the fact that, it's a nice square fields, lots of headroom at the start and end of the field, so you don't have to worry about necessarily hitting trees or fences or whatever. But I do sometimes like the non-square shaped fields, and so playing a map where they're all square, it doesn't really give you much of a variety. But Stevie has given us some square fields, things that we kind of look to from a Stevie map, but then also he's left some of the other fields obviously non-square. So something to think about, something to plan. Again, not sure how long I will play this map. Again, I think it depends on other maps that come out, and I think also it depends on seasons. I think if seasons were to come out, and obviously would need to be looking at doing a restart because of that, I would probably look to starting a new map for that. Instead of, again, if seasons were to come out tomorrow, it would not be that big of a deal because we've only got a little bit of work done. But if we're 6, 8, 10 episodes into this map and seasons comes out, and it would be in our best interest to restart the map and everything, I would probably be looking at a different map for that. But hey, I don't think seasons will be out tomorrow, so we don't have to necessarily worry about that. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you have a question about Farm Sim 19, if you have a question about one of the mods that you're seeing or whatever, you can always leave a comment down below the video. I do try to get to those. It may be a day or two after the release of the videos before I see it, but I will get to them. Or you can come over to the Simulation Gaming Society Discord server, or even I have my own Discord channel as well, and you can contact me via direct message, private message, whatever, and I would be happy to try to help you with your virtual farming efforts and everything. If you have questions about how the game works or whatever, that's really why I do this. I do this because I enjoy helping, and I know that I haven't really put out a lot of how-to videos yet and that kind of stuff. I'm kind of waiting for Courseplay to mature. I'm waiting for some other mods to come out, and just also I'm busy as well, so there's probably a lot of that involved as well. But anyway, I'm rambling, and I will say thank you for watching. Take very good care of yourself and also of each other, and come and hang out with us over at the Simulation Gaming Society Discord server and tell us that you heard about it here, and we will welcome you to the group and enjoy the camaraderie and the conversation between us all. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.